So once you ran down south from New York and you started getting into meth and all that, how did you eventually get arrested and sentenced?
Those are two different things. So those are two.
Arrested.
Okay, so I was going to leave Arkansas many times, and I had friends that would get me a bus ticket so I could leave. I would call them up in a moment of clarity and say, I'm really fucked up. I'm really sick. I need treatment. I need your help. And I would have friends buy me bus tickets. They would do that in a heartbeat. And I really appreciate that looking back because they tried, and someone was there trying. But I had a bus ticket. And at 4:30 in the morning, downtown Fort Smith, Arkansas, October 20th of 2011, I decide that instead of sitting in this hotel waiting for the bus the next morning, I'm going to go to the gas station and get food. Why the fuck? I have no idea. Nothing good happens at 4 a.m. in the South. No one is out. You're not in Times Square. Like, there is no one on the roads. Just you, tweakers, and cops. That's it. I'm the tweaker. And there was a cop across the street from the gas station. And we pulled into this gas station, and I saw him, and I thought, fuck, leave everything here. Throw it away. Don't drive away from this gas station with drugs and guns. Like, you're going back. And the person that I was with, I was trying to let him know, like, we're about to get arrested. Like, we're at least about to get pulled over. Make sure you ditch everything. And there's this thing in the meth world where everyone's like, you're paranoid. It's not even that bad. Like, you're fine, relax, you're too high, you've been up for too many days. And it's not paranoia if they're really fucking coming for you. Mm-hmm. So try to convince someone that is also high on meth that you're about to be arrested. You can't, because when you get high on meth, people will look out the curtains and they think the cops are coming for them. So you cannot tell someone this is really going to happen. They don't believe you. They think that everything is a scam, everything's a game. So he thought I was going to try to take whatever stuff he had, right? Because if you leave it at the gas station, maybe I have planned for someone to go in and get it. Mm-hmm. There's no reasoning with this person at all. So I get back in the car and I'm like, okay, I'm going to fucking prove it to you. Let's go to prison today. Like, instead of just not getting in that car and walking away, I just wanted to prove a point. So we pulled out of the gas station, and sure enough, within 2 minutes, cop gets behind us and hits the lights. Now I am really high, like really fucked up.
On meth.
Mm-hmm. And I'm texting 1,000,000 miles an hour to everyone I know, jail Fort Smith, jail Fort Smith, jail Fort Smith, because that way they're going to know I've got arrested and I'm in Fort Smith. Well, sober people didn't know what that meant. They're like, why did Jess text me at 4:30, jail Fort Smith? What the fuck does this mean? I'm texting people that I sell to. I'm texting my family. I'm texting my friends in different states so they know where I am. Half of them had no fucking idea what that text meant. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, someone's going to know where I'm at. I'm going to get bond. Well, when the cop came to the window, he immediately opened my door. And he immediately took me out of the car. And I'm like, this is not a routine traffic stop. This is very different. And within 5 minutes, DTF was on scene, the drug task force. And that looks like unmarked cars and cops in regular street clothes and like a badge with like around their neck or whatever. And I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, fuck. Usually when I go to jail, it's just a second cop car pulls up and maybe a drug dog. Yeah. Right. This looks dramatic, So I immediately was like running through my mind of, this has been an investigation and they know who the fuck we are. And I was scared, but I was also like a really angry, high little shit of a person. So, he arrests me almost immediately. They search the car, they find 2 ounces of meth and a gun, and I get sent to jail where I'm trying to come down and trying to get through the intake process, which is a really long day. And DTF came in within a few hours to interview me, and I told them to go fuck themselves and take me back to my cell. And they're like, are you kidding me right now? Yeah. Like, we have pictures of you from inside your own car. Here's a picture of you selling a big bag of meth. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Take me back to my cell. I go back to my cell, and I think the next day is when a new charge slid under my door on this piece of paper, like a CO had brought it in, and it was delivery of meth. So now, I had the 2 charges when I was arrested, and then delivery of meth came a little bit later. And the DTF, or the Drug Task Force, tried to interview me probably 3 or 4 more times before I finally took a plea 6 months later. And every single time I made sure to tell them, I'm not fucking helping you get meth off the street. That's not my job. You're a crime stopper. Figure it the fuck out. And the whole time, everyone around me was like, Jess, everyone snitches in Arkansas. There are 3 kinds of people in Arkansas: those that told, those that wish they told, and those that wish they had somebody to tell on. Which one are you? And I'm like, damn. I'm a lost New Yorker. Like, what the fuck? You don't snitch where I'm from. And I just didn't understand. I really didn't. Until I did. Until my emotional discovery came back and there was strangers in it. People snitched on me that I had never met before. So it just kind of made sense.
Wow.
Yeah. Same thing for everyone that I knew. Strangers will snitch on you to get out of that arrest because they just want to go back out on the street and use meth.
Right.
And that's the meth world. You know, there's absolutely no loyalty, and it's just a really fucked up place to be.
I don't think it's only in Arkansas. From the amount of people we've had on here, it's everybody snitches on exactly what you said. That goes. That's the way it goes everywhere.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. I'm a firm believer in do your own time. If you're running and gunning and you're in that lifestyle and you get arrested and just to get out of trouble, you try to tell on someone else, fuck you.
That's just so funny.
Do your own time.
We had this guy on here last week, and he was talking about how he was in prison for like 20 years, and he met some old guy who ran a Ponzi scheme just randomly, like on his, and like 10 years in, he met this old guy, and they'd walk the yard together, and he said this guy was just like telling him his story about all this stuff and where he has this money buried or whatever, and he asked him, he's like, can I trust you to tell you this? And he's like, probably not. And he's like, fuck it. And he told him, and then he immediately went to the feds and told them, and he got like 5 years knocked off his sentence.
Yeah, maybe 7 or something.
And the guy that he told on only got like 6 months added to his sentence.
Man, I mean, for what, bro?
5 years. You got 5 years for it. Would you do it for 5 years?
To get 5 years knocked off my sentence?
Would you tell on some old guy who and get that ran a Ponzi scheme to get 5 years of freedom?
No.
Really?
No, because you have to think about it. Yeah, he got 5 years knocked off of his sentence, but now every single person on that compound knows you're a snitch.
Right.
There's not a second that I'm gonna live in that light.
Right.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, so there's not a fucking chance in hell.
Yeah, it depends on the kind of correctional facility you're in, right? If you're in there with a bunch of people that are dangerous, or you're in there like in a low level one with a bunch of like blue collar criminals, then
everyone can be dangerous.
Yeah.
On any day. Emotions run really high in prison. They're not, we're not drinking enough water. We're not getting enough sleep. We're not getting enough nutrition. We're away from our family. Emotions run really fucking high. I've seen people get beat up over a 50-cent pizza sauce packet. Like, people are not playing. So anyone can be dangerous at any moment in time, no matter what level you're at of prison. But yeah, man, I'm not snitching.
Yeah.
No.
What kind of, you were in like a state prison? What kind of, where were you?
So most women do time in maximum security prisons.
Okay.
So I was
Really?
maximum security, and that might seem weird, right? Like my cellie in the last place that I was at had capital murder because there's not a lot of facilities for women. So men will get transferred around a lot, low-level crimes will be kind of sectioned off with low-level crimes, and there's all of these yards that you can go on. It's different for women. So men will go like through diagnostic, and then they'll go finally to their home jail. The feds will move you all around. It's just very different for women.